We have a few speakers this morning discussing some recent data and our efforts to combat criminal manipulation in the supply chain, as it's not an IT problem, it's our problem. And for the first time, this group will see the outline of our strategic playbook in action. Now, I spent quite a bit of time in my first 6 months at the IAB understanding the successes and the shortcomings of the IAB standards portfolio. It really struck me how some of our protocols might need a refresh. Video has emerged as one of the most painful friction points in legacy standards. When I asked some of our ops leaders to describe these challenges, they said, "Scott, so piecing this together, I was like, well, some of the staff knows I prefer the mountains, and they actually asked if this was me. We'll discuss video and some of the emerging thinking and next steps. We'll also be looking to break down data, and we're going to get a good dose of certification and compliance discussions. Thanks to happensinops.com for these parodies and those who contribute to this site and our sanity on a daily basis. You know, AdOps folks are like the kings and queens of untapped and unbudgeted revenue. We squeeze more juice out of that orange than what we thought was possible. We solve problems such as maximizing yield and trying new things like programmatic. But I don't think we get enough credit following our instincts into unknown areas. I've been in companies where the hardened structures get in the way when we should be breaking these down. I believe true leadership puts aside territorial silos and embraces others who contribute to the top and bottom line in non-traditional ways. And more importantly, leaders are those individuals who say, "How can I help?" To me, this is the biggest part of transformation. I've been thinking about this. How can I help? The handout in your manual discusses the Tech Lab announced by the IAB. While many of you in your companies push the heights of our capabilities, the lab's goal is to reduce the friction leading to cost savings, while most importantly, raise the floor of an entire industry for safe growth. It might seem like a monumental strategy, but broken down into tactics, it gets easier to tackle. For example, all of you have dependencies on developers to execute, test, and deploy. You may sit in their queue of the 1,000-year list of to-dos. A year ago, viewability might have been 100 on that list of 1,000. I might be able to help with that. Today, I am pleased to announce the launch of the IAB Tech Lab Code Bank. While the Code Bank is in beta, this code repository will allow developers in your organizations to retrieve common reference code for IAB protocols. This will allow developers to more rapidly disseminate the standards while minimizing the interpretations of the specifications that we collectively create. Currently, we have a reference code file for our newly released DAST in there and the latest version of SafeFrames, including a test harness. But it needs more. I encourage you to stop by the Tech Lab booth and speak to our head of engineering, Alan Taransky, on how to get your developers involved and, more importantly, contributing their code for sharing. We are also releasing Open Direct Specification for public comment today. This started as a collaboration between member companies to create an automated API technical spec for programmatic buying and selling of premium guaranteed inventory. But version 1 of any protocol just scratches the surface. The goal to eliminate some costly custom API integrations is a goal that IAB embraces. And recognizing that the IAB Tech Lab should be the home for global standards and solutions regardless of their origin aligns with our strategy to raise the floor.